Hey guys, hopefully you all could print out the practice sheet that I posted for today. So we're going to do some of these problems together. I'm going to show you how to do some of each section. And then I've also posted my answer key. So after you try doing the rest of the problems on your own, I want you to open up my answer key and see how you guys are doing. This is a very important lesson for 8th grade math. Graphing linear equations, finding slopes, writing equation in slope-intercept form, knowing what the y-intercept is. So this is a very important lesson. So if you're given a line on a graph and the directions say to find the slope, so let's just review for a second. So if I want to talk about a linear equation, linear equations can be written in this form, which is called slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So you're always going to use the two equations x and y unless you have a vertical or horizontal line. You only have an x or you only have a y. But then that number being multiplied by x is always called the slope. It's always represented by the letter m, I guess because an s looks so much like a 5. And then b is always the y-intercept. And that's what the b value is when the x value is 0, okay? So the m is the slope and the b is the y-intercept. So when you're already given a line, when you're given a line that's already graphed, what you're going to do is you're going to want to make a right triangle. You can make it above or below the line. It doesn't matter. But remember that slope is written in the form rise over run. So you want to know how tall your triangle. I hope I haven't been saying rectangle. You want to know how tall your triangle is and then how wide it is. So the rise goes from here to here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The run goes this way. So 1, 2, 3. And remember, if you have a line that goes up and to the right, it's a positive slope. If it goes down and to the right, it's a negative slope. If you have a vertical line, you have an undefined slope that makes up the nose. If you have a horizontal line, you have a 0 slope. So this is called Mr. Slope Guy. If you can remember what his face looks like, hopefully you'll remember the different types of lines and the slopes. So anyway, since we wrote rise over run, 6 divided by 3 is 2. And since our line goes down and to the right, remember you always look at lines from left to right. The slope is -2. That's the answer, -2. All right, you guys are going to try 2 on your own. Then let's look at number 3. So I'm going to make my triangle. And my rise is 1 and my run is 1, 2. My line goes up and to the right. I'm going to put rise over run, and that's already simplified. So my answer is +1 over 2, 1/2. And that's my slope. So you guys are going to try 3 and 4. All right, let's look at number 5 and 6. When you're given 2 points and you need to find the slope, you're going to use that formula. The slope formula says the change in y divided by the change in x. Okay, so 5 is going to be x1 and -4 is going to be y1. All right, -1 is x2 and 0 is going to be y2. All right, it doesn't matter if I name these x2 and y2 and these x1 and y1. It doesn't matter as long as you pair them appropriately. The 1s go with the 1s, the 2s go with the 2s. So now we're just plugging in numbers into our formula. So y2 is 0, minus, always write a minus sign. Y1 is -4. So don't drop a negative sign just because that y1 is a negative number. And then we're going to divide that by x2, which is -1, minus 5. Always make sure you put your y's over your x's. Well, here we're going to do bam, bam. So 0 plus 4 is 4. -1 combined with -5 is -6. Those are both even, so I'm going to divide them both by 2, and I get -2 thirds. Remember, it doesn't matter where your negative sign is. You just need to remember that the answer is a negative slope. All right, I want you guys to try number 6, and then you're going to check my answer key. Number 7, we're going to sketch the graph of each line. Do we only have 2 of these? We sure do. All right, so we always start at the y-intercept. So remember, the y-intercept is the number not multiplied by x. It's called a constant if it's not being multiplied by x. And it's always the y value when x is 0. So really, +5 would represent a coordinate 0, 5. That's where you start. So when you guys start yours, number 8, when you try that one, you're going to start down here at -5. I'm going to start at +5. Now think about it before you even graph. Remember, you want your positive slopes to go up and to the right. This is a positive slope because that number that's being multiplied by x is positive. On number 8, though, you're going to want your line to go down and to the right because it has a negative slope. So be careful before you go right or left. You want to think, okay, which direction do I need to go in to make my slope positive? So +5. So since it's a positive slope, normally I would tell you go up and to the right, but since I don't have enough space, I can't go up 7 and right 3. I have to do my rise actually down. So I'm going to go up and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want that positive slope. So my 3 means I have to go to the left. So when I connect those dots, I got to make sure my line is going up and to the right, up and to the right, and that's positive. So you guys try number 8 and check my answer key. Now, number 9, this time we're wanting to kind of put 2 things together. We are going to look at the graph and we are going to find out what the equation is. So first thing we're going to do is figure out, okay, I know that the y-intercept is +4 because this ordered pair is 0, 4. Now, you're going to find a place on your graph where the line goes straight through the corner right here. Do you see what I'm talking about? As far as the corner, it goes right through that corner right here. So this exact coordinate is -2, -1, right there. All right, you wouldn't use this point because I don't know exactly what x is. I know that y is 0, but I don't know exactly what x is, right? It'd be between -1 and -2. So I'm going to use this graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my right triangle. I'm going to figure out what my rise and my run is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2. And it's positive. It goes up and to the right. So my rise over run. So that's my slope times x. And then my y-intercept is +4. And that is my answer. And it's positive because my line goes up and to the right. So then you guys try number 10 and check my answer sheet. Number 11, actually through the rest of these, 11, 12, 13, and 14, all of these we have to write in slope-intercept form. That means we're going to solve for y on all of these. Solve for y. We want y by itself. So I'm going to bring it down here. I want y by itself, so I'm going to cancel a positive x. What's the only way to cancel a positive x? By subtracting x from both sides. So now this is gone. I bring down my 4y. I'm going to write this. I like writing my x's first just because that's what I'm used to. I'm going to bring my negative x. So basically that's -1. If you don't see a number, it's a 1. So this means -1x, and this is a +12. And then I'm going to divide the only way to get rid of times 4 is divide every single number by 4. Divide everything by 4. Y equals, because 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 1 times y is y. Now I'm going to leave this in fraction form. I'm going to leave negative 1/4 x plus 12 divided by 4 is 3. So I'm going to graph it by starting with my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 0, 3. I'm going to come right here. My slope is negative. My rise is 1, and my run is 4. So since it's negative, I'm going to go down 1, right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to connect those dots. Try to draw a straight line as much as I can. And double check it. Do I need a negative slope? And is this going down and to the right? Yes. All right, even though I have these on my answer sheet, since we haven't done a lot of these, I'm going to go ahead and graph these for you. So at any time, even right now, I'd like for you to pause the video and try it on your own, and then come back and check your answer. So number 12, I'm going to write it right here. For all of these, we want to solve for y. This is slope-intercept form right here. That's what we want it to look like. I want y by itself, so I'm going to get rid of this whole positive term by subtracting 9x from both sides. So that gets rid of this. I bring down my positive 4y. I'm writing my x first, negative 9x minus 20. Now to get rid of times 4, I'm going to divide every single term by 4. Y equals, leave it in fraction form, negative 9/4x. And then negative 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5. So what is my slope-intercept form? I'm sorry, what is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is 0, negative 5. Let's start down here. And then normally I would tell you to go down 9 and right 4, but since I don't have room to do that, I'm going to do the opposite. I have to rise 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As a negative slope, which means I have to go left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to make that line as straight as I can. Okie dokie. How'd you guys do? All right, we got 2 more. We're going to solve for y. So we're going to get rid of positive 4x by subtracting 4x from both sides. So then we have 5y is equal to negative 4x minus 10. Then I'm going to divide every single term by 5. So we end up with negative 4/5x. Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. So we start down here at 0, negative 2. We would go down 4, right 5. It has a negative slope. So down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say my graph wasn't quite this long and I wanted to do the opposite 2 directions. I would go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just want to make sure when I'm done, my line is going down and to the right because it has a negative slope. In fact, all of these have a negative slope. All right, and then finally, this last one, I want to cancel out my 3x by subtracting 3x from both sides. So I have 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 8. Then I'm going to divide every single term by 2. So y is equal to negative 3/2x, and negative 8 divided by 2 is minus 4. I start at that y-intercept, 0, negative 4 down here. I would go down 3, right 2, but I don't have enough space. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and left 2, 1, 2. I have enough space. I could do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And there is our line. It's negative. All of these are negative, but that's totally fine. All right, you guys. So hopefully that helped you. I hope so. I wish we had about 24 of these, so we could do double how many you just did, because practice really does make you feel more comfortable. It helps you know what to do. Sometimes you get to a place and you're like, now what do I do? I have no idea what to do now. I'm stuck. So anyway, so you guys, like I said, go ahead and try those and check my answer key. Make sure you get the other ones right. And I hope everybody has a good week. I'll see you later on this week at our Zoom meeting. And if you need me before then, let me know. Have a good day.